Hello and welcome to another edition of Small World USA, as I'm actually going to go on a small road trip to Washington, D.C., and I'm going to go take the Ohio Turnpike. And so nice bridge here, and $13.25 to get from Toledo to the state line. And then when you get in Pennsylvania, you got another toll road. But anyways, the first night, Thursday night, I'm going to spend in the suburbs of Pittsburgh, but I figured I'll take a peek downtown before I call it a night. Pittsburgh's a great city to explore, and close by, there's their convention center. This is where I parked. And there's like a lima-shaped moon out tonight. But it was cold the whole weekend. And they got nailed with a snowstorm like Tuesday night, a couple nights prior into Wednesday morning. 4 to 6 inches at all, depending. Anyways, this is part of March Madness. And Loyola of Chicago had a game. And, yeah, it was a big weekend of basketball games, excuse me. Alcoa. Now, Pittsburgh has reinvented itself and diversified their economy. They were known as the Steel City, and that was their big gig for the longest time. But they're into pharmaceuticals now, financial markets, I think medical, a couple other things going. And they're known as the City of Bridges, and this one's called the Andy Warhol Bridge. I think renamed, or a secondary name. So Loyola wins 69-68. So they are like the Cinderella team. But game 2 here this Thursday night will involve the Wolverines. Here a nice chandelier, a couple of them. Triangular shaped building. And then I like the marquee here for the Harris Theater. And then Michigan, well, the Sweet 16. This was the second game, I believe. Yeah, I could be wrong. Yeah. No, it wasn't the second game. All right, so they had it on the TV, but you got to be careful. So it's all copyrighted stuff, but I wanted to see the final score, and I think that was it. Then tacos. So here was a colorful place, and I used the flashlight on my phone. I got an uri taco for $4, and then they got all these other ones, but I decided I'm going for 2. The other one was a Bubba Koosh. So another $4. And I can't tell you what the difference between one and the other, but they were both good. And had a drink with it. And I stayed at the Red Roof, just north of the city. And so picture, it comes with a TV, a desk, a chair, all the amenities. Okay, so I got a good night's sleep. And then here's Friday, the 7 Fields, that's what they actually call this location. So I'm right off the turnpike there. And there you see the snow up top. Yeah, March was kind of brutal, and it's been cold in April, and Red Roof, so it's aptly named. If you notice the roof there, that's how the hotel got their name. Okay, gas is more expensive in Pennsylvania. The locals were saying, yeah, they have high gas taxes. They're like the highest in the nation, maybe for the taxes. But yeah, outside, just south of Pittsburgh, you got to get that toll thing. And I went like 161 miles, and it was almost $20. We don't have toll roads in Michigan, but that's a cash cow. Yeah, I was doing the country thing, so a lot of good country music on the radio. Well, I had to fill up with the gas. so I had to pay the premium price, but that's not for planning ahead. So, okay, that's where I exit, and then I head south. Here's the toll card. Let's see what it was. I came in at 30, Warrendale, and went to Breezewood. God, maybe that's only 131. $19.35. Yikes. Pricey stuff. But then they have this huge tunnel. So we'll see if there's light at the end of the tunnel. I don't know. This is a super long tunnel. Maybe it's going straight down. Oh, lordy, lordy. Phew, that was a close call. Anyways, yeah, Baltimore, Washington, D.C. So here we go. Let's see. Well, the first interchange was Warrendale, 30, so I think it was 161 miles for almost $20. Here's another nice bridge. And here's a parkway leading into the city of Washington, D.C. And this was a Friday afternoon, and traffic was quite heavy on the Beltway. Actually, very slow. But Lincoln Memorial there's a roundabout. Yeah, this was not the time to make the approach to the city, actually. I didn't plan this trip out that great. Sometimes I just wing it, and I thought downtown Washington, D.C. used to have a rundown area, Marionberry, the crack thing and all that. So I was thinking I'm going to go to one of these cheapy hotels, but they really cleaned up the place. So I ended up staying at a Red Roof near the Beltway on the east side, and it wasn't that nice. Anyways, here's March 24th, so this is March for Our Lives. I got the Smart Trip card, and they have public transit, the subway system in Washington, D.C., and it'd be nice if we had something along these lines. So I stopped at the Greenbelt. That's where I parked. It's a park and ride kind of thing. And I'm going to take it here to the National Mall. I might have gotten off at Gallery Place. I'll have to see. But yeah, nice, efficient system. You can see they got a red line, a yellow line. Here's their system map, their legend. Yeah, blue, green, yellow, silver. Yeah. All right, so I'm on just after 10 in the morning. This is one of the terminal stops, and look at the way it's like a tube-shaped kind of thing. It does have a neat little futuristic kind of thing. So we're seeing the crowd develop here. March for Our Lives put on by the students of Parkland in Florida. And so we'll see a lot of signs and whatnot. And people trying to make a point. And so lots of security and all that kind of stuff, most definitely. And the military vehicles and so forth, I'm sure they had layers upon layers of security. But it was a peaceful crowd. It was, there was a good atmosphere, a good vibe in the air. I was kind of almost taken aback. Then there was this group, kind of like a religious thing. Yeah, Church of God.
Jesus Christ was saved yesterday! On www.churchofgod.net, we're going to sing. Hang on a little bit. It's going to get exciting around here.
seems like to be all the rage in all these cities now. You can really get a good variety of food, you know, and they take a relatively small space.
Just like the rhythm of me. What an
Oh yeah, I was definitely gonna put a bucket in the ducket. Then they were like queuing up. They had the barricades set up, and like it wasn't really like a march per se, because they had a stage and everyone kind of went around the barricades and kind of marched toward the stage. And I'm not even sure if I even get a picture of the stage. There were so many people. But we'll see the signs, and they're playing music and so forth. There's the Reverend Al Sharpton. It was like the only media setup that I had seen around the premises. When I went online, the march was supposed to start like at 3rd and Constitution and then go to like 16th Street. But like I asked them, and they said, no, there's not like really a march. And so it's then I was disappointed in that regard. Call it a rally then. There. Yeah, I was trying to look around and make a circle around the whole thing. Look at this dog. It's a monster. There's the Washington Monument, certainly a landmark. Somewhere down there and maybe to the left was the main stage. I really did not get a good view. They had TV screens set up all over the place, which was real nice. Artsy garbage trucks, so yes, art is everywhere. That just proved it. Here they had a good supply of water. Nobody was going to get thirsty. Here you see one of the big TV screens, and then they were playing music too. And I think the main rally started at 12 as far as the speakers. You can see the people behind the barricades there. And so like they had police protection on both sides, but you kind of got the OK Corral kind of going in there. And I didn't want to get stuck. The parents were making this little kid dance in front of the Edgar Hoover FBI building. Yeah, they probably put that up on Facebook. But yeah, the TV screens kind of kept you informed. Trump International Hotel. It's not that far from the White House, so saying a visitors might stay at the Trump Hotel, but there's no conflict of interest. There's no money to be had. Here, Anno Domini 15, 16, 17, 18, 1907, I think. Check for all the names.
There you go. Now give him one.
This was, some people brought their pets. I don't know if that's like a security dog or how that works out. A lot of government buildings. Here's the Capitol, and they finished the construction on it. It looks fantastic, but I didn't get a view of the Capitol when it's all lit up at night. But here, the National Mall, and you can walk up there. I think they even have elevators, actually. Yeah, you get a nice view. The Lincoln Memorial all the way back, and it was tempting, but I didn't want to really walk that far. So here, yeah, this gives you the lay of the land. And I'm doing the audio here on April 10th. Just this past weekend was the big weekend for the cherry blossoms. Maybe they had a cherry festival. They have one in Traverse City, but I guess it's the cherry blossoms. So you gotta wait till the fall to get the cherries. All right, tons of Smithsonian museums, like they're all over the place. Certainly, God, there's so much to see and do in Washington, D.C. And so it's kind of overwhelming. I'm here to kind of catch the march and so forth, but I needed to get some fresh air, kind of walk around. They have a carousel, and then they have some sculpture artwork. This one called QB12. That looks like it might be a Calder. We got something like that at the DIA. I don't know if they moved it. Here I can get some far distant perspectives of the crowd. Now they said 800,000, but usually these crowd estimates are somewhat inflated. I always like to base it like a U of M game. You have 100,000 people, and after the game, the fans let out, and you get a feeling how the crowd disperses. My guess is closer to 300,000, maybe. Here was some media. I don't think that was Channel 7 from the Detroit area. Ooh, another artsy garbage truck. It was sunny, which was nice, but it was actually quite brisk. Maybe I'll show the phone for the temperature. They have the speeches going on now. Closer to the TV screen and the light, but yeah, I didn't really want to fight the crowd. It was kind of crazy. I wasn't feeling all that great the whole week. don't know what it was. You get that little kind of tiredness bug or whatnot. Yeah, I think a lot of it was just the cold weather. I'm just ready for the warmer weather to hit. But, yeah, I made it a short day, actually. I should have worked the area and the crowd a little bit more, but I don't know. I just got tired. Making excuses. Well, it's part getting old is what it is. I hate to admit that. I really, really do. Well, they had all number of buttons and so forth. Here were a couple big lions. There's a lot of neat parks. Here, and speaker after speaker, so there's a good look at the crowd. Somewhere down there and maybe to the left is the main stage. And so, yeah, good, peaceful crowd and everything. It was just, everyone was kind of like on the same page. Here, the food trucks were lined up. There certainly were a lot of signs. Yeah, probably right. Yeah, these guys do this show for HBO. Get involved. Yeah, well, find your calling and get involved. Yeah. Well, the youth movement, man, it was nice to see. It's just like young people. It's like the next generation rise up kind of thing, and they're getting an early start. Here I'm in Chinatown. I had to walk a little further because one of the stations was closed because, too much transit traffic. So we went to the next one up, the gallery place. And I got to take the green line back. So look at the route map. It's a piece of artwork, actually, with all the colors and stuff. So gallery place, you see it's like a hub there, a connecting point, or crossing point. Yeah, when the train's approaching, you get the flashing lights here.
Puede llamar a la policía de tránsito de metro a 202-9.
All right. Well, I wasn't the only one that left a little early, but now it's me time. So, Spring Hill Suites. So, a nice little sofa there with colorful cushions. Has a painting there. Another painting. Art is everywhere, I tell you. And then a little coffee maker, a fridge, a microwave, and a sink. Wow. And the bed. I already mussed up the bed a little bit. But yeah, the basketball continued all weekend long. Yeah, we have a lot of government-type pictures. And then the shower. Yeah, we'll turn the light on. That's a little easier to see. And a toilet. And then more towels. A mirror cabinet. Everything. And so let's see what's on. Oh, yeah, they're talking about the rally.
Because that's an inversion of the way things are supposed to work.
But this president also had an opportunity right after Vegas. He said he wanted to.
All right, then a good night's sleep. And then Sunday, I begin the trek home. So I take the Beltway, but instead of taking the Pennsylvania Turnpike, I went through West Virginia, which was kind of neat. I wanted to take a different route. I already saw the turnpike, and gosh darn, I didn't want to blow another $20 just for the privilege of riding it. So yeah, here we go, West Virginia. West Virginia's calling. Here, Warner Theater, and they got a phone number there for the renovation. This is Morgantown, which is, I stopped in and had a drink here, Iron Horse Tavern, just established a few years back. Main Street, Morgantown. So here we go. And this is like the home city for West Virginia University, their main campus. Here they have a Chocolate Lovers Day. You could actually still catch that if you're a chocolate lover. Here's some of the buildings along Main Street. And Morgan's Diner. Yeah, this is High Street. And Court is the intersection, and they have the good time. Citizens Building. 1896. I like when they have the born on date. It's always a nice touch. I wish they would just continue that as a tradition. Here, the county we're in, and this, I talked to, I ended up getting a calzone. So I'm talking to the guy at the counter, and he was telling me about the city, and it's kind of depressed around these parts. They didn't bring back the coal mining jobs, or Trump didn't. Here, kind of little alien, probably the boyfriend taking pictures there. They have a Cold Stone and then an alley cat. Now that's styling. Well, check that hat out. A cat with an elegant hat. Oh yeah. Okay, so they have rules of conduct. So, wow, they don't have much fun over here. I can see that already. My Lord. The Metropolitan. So this is a styling building here, look. Guess who this guy is? Does he look familiar?
Yeah, he's got a big smile.
With the ears and the toothy grin. We all have trademarks and so forth. And Mayberry. There you go. He's from this county here. If you can read that, Don Knotts.
Hey, he just went down that way. He's got a pair of shoes on all fucked up.
All right, DP Dough. That's where I ended up getting my calzone, and on TV they had bowling. So here we go. And then a dipping sauce. My doctor says I have high cholesterol and saying cheese and that kind of stuff's not good. Probably nothing in a calzone is good. There's a heavy, like, saturated fat content, but it tasted pretty good. I'll let myself go every now and then. Here's what the stadium looks like. So when they have a game, the city's probably hopping. Here are Motown Apartments. I don't know if somebody from Detroit owns that place, how that worked out. But a little touch of Motown here in Morgantown. And here's looking down Main Street. And it was a nice sunny day, but again, it was cold. And I was feeling like, I don't know if you have to put it in percentage terms, maybe 85% or something. It's like, man, and if it was like 50, 60. Okay, here we go. Anno Domini. Okay, 1902, right? Yeah. So this is one of the older buildings on West Virginia University. And they got a grinning something baby or whatnot. Prospect Street and University Avenue. So kind of to the right here, we'll start the university, and the stadium might be like a mile away. Let's go West Virginia. And yeah, the rafting thing's a big deal here. And then with the sun on this This tree really caught my eye because it's like white as white can be. And it's not like birch. It's quite a big tree. I don't know. Maybe it is birch. Somebody might know what species. But yeah, gosh, I'm going to have more video here of Morgantown than I did Washington, D.C. Shame on me. There's so much to see in Washington, D.C. I'm going to have to go back. But I tell you what, I'd fly and then do the Uber and then stay close by and then use their transit. I'm getting too old for driving that. You know, when you can get a flight for like $250 maybe. So I gotta rethink my travel. I just didn't plan this trip out that well, but I still enjoyed it. It's always good to get out of the house, see something new, do a little exploring. This was a house, they were working on it here, and this was on a Sunday afternoon on Pleasant Street. I took my time getting there and took my time getting home. I allowed 2 days there and 1 day for the march and 2 days back. So a little more bridge action. I'm fascinated. There are architectural gems, and it's really like no two bridges are alike. But yeah, nice blue sky day.
Viewers around the world.
And then I stayed at the Red Roof north of Pittsburgh, and they had a special on.
Justice.
It was like the civil rights, but there's some comparison to what happened with the marches back in the civil rights era and kind of what's happening now. And I tell you what, I am just really impressed with these young people, and I don't mean to patronize them, but damn, they seem like they're pretty smart already, and part of that could probably be attributed to the social media and the way you can send information so quick. Anyways, made it back home safely and then had to go back to work the next day. Wow. Okay, here, madness is coming. Well, Michigan advanced quite well into the tournament. If their football team could do as well, that would be nice. But here, Motor Capital, the show first started airing in January of 1996. So I'm definitely not no spring chicken. I've been around the block. And then this, just one little...
It's a two-run shot to tie this ball game.
Yeah.
Detroit versus
This
everybody.
was like Detroit versus everybody kind of a thing where... one of those moments, they had like 2 home run reviews in back-to-back innings, and I think we lost both of them. Anyway, opening day was, they robbed us there. Hang on. Gosh darn. I got to switch tapes. Egads. Can't find the button. Okay, the one tape I got out, I'm putting the next one in. I'm going to actually go back in time. Usually I like to go in chronological order, but I wanted to get everything of the Washington, D.C. footage. Okay. This is the continuation from March Madness, but the weekend where the games were being hosted at Little Caesars Arena. So this was the Sunday games on March 18th. There's Hotel Fort Wayne and 300 rooms with bath. It's vacant now, but they need to do something. Masonic Temple, historic elegance, and that's quite a building to be sure. 7 of spades, so that's an improvement. The last time I was walking around, I saw the 2 of spades, so things are getting better. Here, $30, credit card only. The District Detroit, so Land is at a premium kind of around here. If nothing else, you can charge $30 for a space for a car. There's the Temple Bar. And they're right off a Temple. Here's the American Hotel, the front side. And there's like Puabic tile. Some of it is falling down, but yeah, and that adjoins the Masonic. Here, this was up for sale for $5.5 million, and it had some fire damage. They should actually tear it down. They're not going to rebuild this, but yeah, because of the location. Yeah, they want $5.5 million. They're kind of holding the property hostage. I don't think they'd get that much, but anyways. Hotel Eddystone, that's like the Hotel California. If you listen to the words of that song, it probably applies to the Hotel Eddystone. Okay, 16th through the 18th. It's nice that they were hosting games. We do quite well hosting sporting events, so why not? The Bomb Squad was out, and they're trying to promote this as the Distic Detroit, which I like the Cass Corridor, actually. So that's what I'm going to call the area. Nice wood benches. And inside, Michigan State was playing Syracuse. And it was game on. So it was kind of quiet around the stadium at this time. There's the Hotel Eddystone. I would imagine give them another year or two. We might have it up and running.
Pushing the pace. Ahead he goes. To the front court. Winston pulls up three. That's off the back rim. The chip won't go. Rebound battle for Chuku with an emphatic rebound.
Well, they had the game on audio, but they didn't show it on the big screen, which I was kind of surprised because when they have like Piston games and Red Wing games, I thought they showed the action outside. But maybe it's all hush-hush. Well, there's a lot of money, certainly, in the tournament. But here's looking inside. They did a great job, actually, with the Little Caesars Arena, LCA. I only saw one event there, a Piston game, but I made it a point to kind of walk around. And, yeah, I was impressed. It's nice.
I said, baby, can we play something else? She said, She said, tonight I'm gonna get my head back and party all day down.
Oh, yeah, I loved the blues and I loved his hookup there. That was sweet. Yeah. All right, well, the Tigers were going to be in town for opening day shortly after this, but crossed the freeway and got a big event, though. Channel 4 was there. Parking here, $25. Yeah. There's the Lion up top. I've been inside here before, but the Park Avenue Hotel, PH. They don't do it. And then the Royal Palm. And so they have residences up here. And I don't know if there's... I think it's just apartments kind of a thing. I don't think they have individual rooms by night, but I could be wrong. The Detour... Every time I go in the city, I have good intentions and a game plan, and I always take the detour. I can't help myself. It just goes like that. Now, whatever catches the eye. Here, this building, built in 1928. God, you know, it was a great cloud day, and not a cloud, clouds from the vapor spray from the jets. Sometimes on those cool, clear days, the vapor trail really shows up good. All right, the Penobscot building, the building with the cherry on top that was off in the distance. And the King Kong building, too. Well, this might have been one of the home bases for the Spartans. But yeah, an attractive building here. So here, Michigan State beat Bucknell. And then here on March 18th, so this was the grid. You gotta look up, man. And then there's all these great tin ceilings. But this is inside the town pump. Okay. And they had a good crowd before the event, and I'm sure afterwards they did quite well too. Urban Adventure Detroit. So here's tours. And Corktown is popping. Detroit's Rise, Fall, and Renewal. They had the phone number there too, but I showed it kind of quick. This was just after St. Patrick's Day. Not all the evidence has been removed. But then a nice study area here. And if you wanted to read a book and get educated, I like to say knowledge is power. At least that's what it says on the top of our Detroit Public Library. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's a beautiful
And
lobby.
then the elevators here.
Just even the
This
elevators.
is styling. This is inside the lobby of the Park Avenue Hotel. Even though I think it's just apartments. Could be wrong. It'd be neat to stay there one night or see what the room rates if they had such a thing. This is old school, so the letterbox, these harken certainly to an earlier time. They don't do that like that no more. Now you send text messages and emails quicker. And they have a restaurant down here, Cafe Park Avenue. Wow, that guy's got the fancy mustache thing going there. Yeah, so it looks like they were starting something up there. There's some artwork at the top of the Little Caesars Arena. Yeah, I think tickets, God, weren't they around 130, something like that? Kind of looked into it, but I think it gets you both games on that day, where you see two games. Here, one of the buses to take people around, and they did a good job here painting this up. Fishbones did. Yeah, nice. Well done. Oh, and great name on the license plate, too. How clever. Fishy 1. Chances are they might have a Fishy 2, I'm willing to bet. Here are the keys, too. It's like, all right, there's some artwork going down. Paint a wall, learn to dance. Get along while we can, always give love the upper hand. Okay. Little positive psychology here. Wow, that's good for my evil twin. He's such a depressing guy. Yeah, checking out the plane action. Here the Centaur. A bottle for both hands. Yee-haw! And a beautiful babe to boot. Okay, but back to the art. The keys to... See if you can figure it out. It's kind of like Wheel of Fortune kind of a thing. The key to heaven.
Oh, do you?
Ah, you're going to get a little religion here. Oh, yeah. Like good versus evil. Interesting. The contrast. Well, I like the blues music, and I've heard that there's a contrast between like blues and the religious, the gospel kind of music. And okay, the keys to heaven can't. Oh well, I wasn't paying too much attention, but I did give it a thumbs up. Yeah, I got like those there's like a devil and an angel on one of your shoulders. I don't know what side the devil's on or what side the angel's on, but yeah, sometimes I'm kind of like the bluesy guy, and other times I might get spiritual and religious and so forth, but it all depends. At the drop of a dime, it could just change. I'm continuing the detour. Oh, this will be fun. Cliff Bells. This is a diamond in the rough. There, it's not a cloud. That's a vapor trail. Okay, but yeah, Tuesday through Friday they have happy hour, live music daily. Sunday they have a brunch. And we're going to take a peek inside. Man, look at the lighting, the woodwork. This is classy. And then the old school furniture. This is like you take your girlfriend to a place like this. Yeah, take her to happy hour. Yee-wee. Have a martini. But, oh yeah, for an evening, and I've been here a couple of times where they've had the live music, and it goes really nice. The sound goes well. Crowd gets into it. Then they have some like artwork back here. Look how long. It was kind of quiet at this time because the game was going on. And one nice thing too about this place is they don't have any TVs. How neat is that? Yeah, and you'd probably be best to put your cell phone away too and just enjoy the ambiance. But yeah, here's the stage. Nice wood floor, the piano. The ladies take the high road and the gentlemen take the low road. It seems to be the way it usually goes too. But yeah, closer look at the piano. Yeah, they got a good thing going over here. And you don't need me to tell you that. And then I don't know about the food per se, but they have the menu. Well, here we go. Clips crab cakes. Yeah, I'm not really a foodie where I'm real, like, for exploring, I don't do that with food. I stick with the basics. But yeah, it looks like they got a good variety here. Alright, so in between a couple of tall buildings, and this one, it's vacant right now. And there's like squirrels eating at the trough, or gophers, whatever those things are. This place, Picture Perfect Properties, it's for sale. There's the phone number, the Park Avenue building. Yeah, let's do something. You'd have to think every one of these buildings has got to make a comeback. The downtown area is kind of happening right now. Yep, look at all these vapor trails. I'm just like a little kid. Simple. It's the simple stuff. I use the KISS principle so I can relate. The Rusted Crow. They've only been there maybe a little over a year, but they seem to be doing quite well. Here's the facade that they saved, and yet to be seen what they put in the back here. It's like a vacant lot, but somebody maybe can come up with a game plan. Here's a colorful Mustang. I wonder, it's orange, but they always come up with fancy names. All right, Ford Field and the Tigers, and then, of course, just less than a quarter mile up or whatever, LCA Arena, where the Pistons and Red Wings. So that's got to be the tightest knit for all four sports teams. So there's kind of a little hub of sports activity kind of centralized here. And this is, Grand Circus Park is right behind me. And then Here, the David Whitney building, that's a boutique hotel now, classic, and the David Broderick Tower to the left. But you have access here with the People Mover. Here, Washington Boulevard, they're going to put like a 6-story, God, I think it's City Club Apartments, I think they called it. I don't know if they're going to have some hotel rooms or not. The lights are on. The Kales building is pretty much occupied. That was a recent renovation. It's been 3 or 4 years, 5. Sometimes time flies. But that's certainly a success story. Affordable housing and good living for the, well, can we still call them yuppies? The young urban professionals and even millennials now that are making a decent wage want to live where all the action is. And some of the apartments are getting downright unaffordable. Certainly hasn't well, they still sell out, so let's not say unaffordable. Unaffordable to a lot of people. But hey, the pricey stuff could be in downtown, and then you can spread that out, and rents can drop as you move further away from the action. But there's room for all price points, as there are for like even the parking here. The standard rate is $50. Man, I'd say I want discount J. That's what I want. But I doubt any of those people got that thing there. I called it the Castle Building, and some people got all bent out of shape at one time. It's really the Gar Building, but it looks like a castle. The Loyal Moose, this has sat vacant for a long time. And so now look, it has some artwork. There's the D. Power, ambition, confidence, strength. You have it all. And there's some sports theme. I saw the winged wheel. And you can get here by bus. There's the bus. Okay, well, 56 degrees. That, well, no, that's not that bad, actually. Oh, I thought it was colder that day, but anyways, people were kind of watching. It was like the game on. Oh, there I show it. And so, but yeah, copyright, you gotta worry what you show of a game. So I'm really just brief glimpses. But yeah, it went from March Madness certainly to March Sadness as far as MSU was concerned on this particular day, because they lost to Syracuse. What a bummer. So I'm kind of en route back to my automobile where I parked, and I'll walk a country mile before I have to pay for parking. I have certain religious principles that I live by, and that's one of them. Here they were going to move the I Am Temple back when they were trying to figure out the location for Comerica Park. They were going to have it on this side of Woodward, and then they pulled a fast one and said, oh, we're going to go the other side. But sometimes that's how urban planning goes. It's almost like you're playing the poker game. A lot of things are kept under wraps, and it's hush-hush. And a lot of times for good reason. Obviously, you want to keep the prices low before you let on to everything that's happening. But everybody should be aware of urban planning and what is kind of happening in Detroit, and go ahead and make your mark. Pick your spot. Everything's kind of like a piece of the puzzle, if I can use that analogy kind of thing. Everything's connected. There's all certainly all the pieces aren't there. There's not like a black hole or like a white, well, there's always something, but you can use the black hole where it'd be like vacant land and nothing's there, or it could be like a white elephant where something has to be torn down. It's outlived its usefulness. some things can get renovated, to be sure. Others might be too far gone, and the location might dictate that you start over with something. But yeah, urban planning, there's like no right or wrong answer. Everybody can share their opinion, and then, like we saw earlier, they can get involved. And even if it's buying just the vacant lot next to your house or something like that, you can make an improvement, certainly, with that. But we have a big player right now, certainly Dan Gilbert. And he's, he's well on his way. What a sharp guy. Hopefully we don't give him any more tax cuts or breaks. You know, billionaires, they're fine now. He's got a lot of good deals, but a smart entrepreneur, to be sure, and a good civic leader for the city of Detroit. We have to get leadership somehow, and he's kind of pointing a direction. So you got to give him a lot of credit. There's Old Glory there waving up top. Nice little breeze blowing. This is Cass Park. And Mr. Burns, I think there's Mr. Burns in the Simpson thing. So he's got a statue. But the Masonic Temple, what a jewel. And then I love these apartments. And Sonia. And then you can get here by bike. 10 neighborhoods, the MOGO for all. Yeah, the Ansonia. It's got 2 addresses. But yeah, I like it because it's not like squared off. It's got like rounded edges and so forth. Off in the distance, the golden top of the Fisher Building. This place, well, this probably should be torn down. It had structural issues, and the inhabitants had to vacate the premises because it wasn't safe. So at this point, you'd probably be better off tearing that building down. We'll keep the Masonic, though. What a jewel this is. And there's so much detail around the building. Then one of these days, I got to take the tour inside because there's like 130 room or 1,300. It's incredible how many rooms and passageways and all this kind of stuff. It's quite incredible. Look at these 3 buildings here, though. These have sat vacant for a while, and I believe the Illiches own these. Cromwell. They put the fence around it now, which is good, but they this could be nice. You could have pricey price points for apartment living here if this is done up nice. The location is really good. This one's the Altadena. I think they're kind of run down. I never got inside, actually, to look at the condition inside, but I think they all had kind of issues, but not too far gone that they can't stabilize it and get it going. So, yeah, again, the Altadena, they have 2 there. So that's the middle building. They have 2 entrances on that one. And then here the 3rd one, depending if you go right to left or left to right. But this is Manhattan. This might be my favorite one. There's certainly influences from New York in the city of Detroit. So the Manhattan, you have to figure it's here. Anyways, $20. Credit card only. My Lord, what if you're maxed out? Okay, they used to be open 24 hours here, but not no more. They might have sold out. 31.31. And yeah, this is the lower part of the Cass corridor. The crane is still there. You can see the arena. So they're building north of the arena. My evil twin's wondering, look at all this vacant property right here. And I'm sure somebody with the vision has already thought about that probably 5, 10, 15 years ago. But anyways, the development is heading north. It's going to engulf all 8 Oh, that's the end of the show. Thanks for watching. Good night.